Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Dame here. I'm gonna be talking about Spider-Man: A Brand New Day. I checked it out over the weekend. I really had to let this one breathe, y'all. I saw it. I ended up seeing it Saturday morning, and I had mixed feelings. I definitely wasn't a bad movie. But I definitely didn't expect it to be the movie that it was. Not to say that was a bad thing, but it wasn't what I expected. And going by some of the things I've seen online, it's not what a lot of other people expected either. So, again, it's going to be a review of Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you haven't seen the movie, you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and check on out. If you're gonna stick with me, please hit that like button. I would appreciate it, and definitely drop a comment in the comment section. I want to know what you guys think of the movie. What was your best part? What part did you not like the most? What were you expecting going into the movie? And the ending. How do you feel about how it ended? And where do you think we can go from there? So drop that in the comment section and let's get into it. So going into the movie, quite honestly, I was anticipating some sort of setup for Avengers Endgame. Look at me being nostalgic. I said Avengers Endgame, Avengers Doomsday. So I'm thinking, but you know, you have to keep in mind, and I have to keep in mind myself, that Sony has the rights to Spider-Man, and they're not always on the same beat with Kevin Feige over there at Marvel. And I think this is a situation where it was slightly disjointed. So let's get into some things that I did like. Number one, I just think that Spider-Man is such a cool character. I think he's a character that most people can look up to and admire, because I think there's a genuine boyish enthusiasm to Spider-Man. He's still naive to the world, which means he's willing to help anybody. He believes he sees the best in people, and he, at this point, and his where he is right now, Spider-Man does not kill. You know, he's always trying to resolve things in a non-lethal manner. Where we find Spider-Man after the end of the last movie, he did the spell with Doctor Strange, and everyone in New York cannot remember who he is, including his best friends, Ned and MJ. So, you know, it's pretty much, this movie was pretty much like a growing up story for him as a young spider growing into an adult. And I mean that figuratively. You'll know when you see the movie for sure. So I think what I liked was I feel like his powers, he's finally, at the conclusion of this movie, Spider-Man is fully powered. He's finally has all of his strength, and I think he finally has access to all of his abilities. Great. That was a great thing, to watch his powers mature through the movie. So I think that was a plus. Also a plus was the plethora of villains we got. We're talking about the Hand. We're talking about mythical ninjas from Kung Lung, which means that somewhere out there, Iron Fist exists. Iron Fist is one of my favorite characters. I'm looking forward to seeing him on screen again. I know people hated the Iron Fist on Netflix, but he's still a cool-ass character. I'm not giving up hope on him yet. We got Shocker. I mean, it was just a lot that was going on, and a very, very special X-Men made an appearance. I'm not gonna give that away because that would be too much of a spoiler. I think having this particular person in the movie was a great touch, and it's leading up to where are the damn X-Men? I mean, how long are we going to tiptoe around this, Marvel? Where are the X-Men? It's the biggest, they're the largest. I think they have the largest fan base of all of your characters. Where are the X-Men? If you're going to make a big comeback as far as, try to get to the peak where Marvel was when the Avengers saga ended in Avengers Endgame, if you're going to get back there, you need the X-Men. You need Wolverine, Cyclops, Storm, Nightcrawler. You need all these guys. Juggernaut, Professor X, Magneto. You need these characters. And they just gave us another teaser in this movie. They have to pay it off. So let me get into things that I did not like. I think they didn't do a good enough job. This movie should have promoted in some way Doctor Doom. This movie could have set up why he is an excellent character, why he's the biggest bad villain that Marvel has to offer. We have to remember that they completely scrapped Kang the Conqueror after some legal troubles by the main character, right, by the main actor, right? And then perhaps they scrapped that, and quite honestly, I believe they scrapped that too soon, because again, the charges ended up getting dismissed, and they went ahead and scrapped everything they had planned. But that's another story for another day. So I don't think they did a good enough job of setting that up. There was a bunch of Easter eggs. There were a bunch of little things that make you get excited, but you don't know if they're ever going to pay these things off. I think that was the most frustrating part of the movie. You're giving me this, but you better pay it off. But I have to remember, this is Sony. Remember, Spider-Man's running on the Sony platform. I don't know how many more years this is going to be the case. Sony doesn't want to sell the character, right? They're pretty much holding Spider-Man hostage at this point. But it is what it is. So I don't think they did enough. They canceled the Blade movie. That got scrapped. And I'm like, come on. You guys have to give us something. You have to give us something. And I think Spider-Man was good, but didn't do enough to promote where we're heading in this next phase with Marvel. So with that being said, I think overall, on my grade scale, I would give this movie a 4 out of 5. It was more on they played on the heartstrings a little more than I would have liked. I would have liked it to be more focused on Spider-Man getting busy, because people don't realize how strong Spider-Man is as a fighter, and I think they could have really displayed that a little bit more in this movie, and they did not. So that was a negative for me, but I'll give it a 4 out of 5 because, again, I think the acting was great. Zendaya, Tom Holland, they were great. I think the story was well done. I just really feel like this could have been a movie where we saw Spider-Man come to his own, but they displayed some of his weaknesses. They focused on too much of his weaknesses and not his strengths, and that's why I have to give it a 4 out of 5. So again, you guys, this is watchable. Definitely a good movie to go see. It's almost 2.5 hours. So get your popcorn and let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I'll see you at the movies.